I'm Molly, and I'm an alcoholic. And I'm not used to talking yet, as you got a couple of weeks ago, and I can't remember what I'm supposed to say exactly. But anyway, I've been through the steps with a loving sponsor and a loving God. And meetings like this, and something else. I'm not sure what else I'm supposed to say. And people like, meetings like this, and people like you. When Tina asked me to speak about a month ago, she asked about, and I said, sure. And I just knew what the subject was going to be. I couldn't exactly figure it out, but I thought, ooh, I bet it'll be the sex inventory. There you go. Lucky me. I started out this morning saying the fear prayer. And it is to please remove my fear of being up here. Direct my attention to what you would have me say. And therefore, I don't have to worry. I came into the halls about 22 months ago. And it had a winding path. And about 5 years ago, I was in an accident. I got hit by a car. And as we know, there's really no accidents. There's no coincidences in our lives. I do have a couple of funny stories about that accident. It was early morning. I was out on a walk with my walking buddy, and a woman was late for work. And down I was, down in the dirt, because it was a dirt road, and thinking, whoa, whoa. And the first thing was the woman standing over me saying, don't tell them I was driving, because I had a suspended license. Okay, there you go. And the next was a firefighter on his way to work. And he said, I said, my son's a firefighter. He said, I'll call him, I'll tell him. No, I'll be up in a minute. I'll be up in a minute. I could hear the ambulance coming, but I'll be up in a minute. And there began my path of really not being up in a minute. I proceeded to take, I am a teacher. I consider myself still a teacher, although I'm retired. I took that year off. I felt, the third part, let me just tell you the third funny story about that, was, again, down here, now 3 days in the hospital, and there's a reason there are no mirrors in the ER or the ICU, because I kept saying, I would say to my husband, I'm going back to see the kids. I'm going to go back. I'll go back. It must have happened on a Wednesday or Thursday. I'll be back on Monday to see the kids because they're going to wonder where I am. Then I got into a room, and I got into the bathroom that had a mirror. I'm not going to go see the kids. Head injury, all of that. Not pretty at all. So I took the time off. I really felt that I had it. I was going to take it. And so being this person with a crazy mind, I said, okay, I'm not going to go, I'm home, I'll be fine. And I isolated. We know that's one of our first problems, isolation. And people would say, no, you can still go out. And I said, no, I'm on sick leave. I can't go out anywhere. I can't have anybody see me out. No, I'm going to stay right here. And what did I do right here in my apartment? Drink. I would consider myself, I guess, I don't know whether you call it social drinker, functional alcoholic. Easily, I could have gone through my life being a functional alcoholic. But not now, not when this was all I really had to do. And I did it the best I could. I was going to have those drinks and that. I was quite happy. Lost a lot of weight, because that's all I was doing. Didn't go out. My poor husband, truly, that was when I should have realized I had a real problem. But that's how I knew I was an alcoholic. I drank when I didn't want to. Bottom line, I had no desire to drink, and I was still drinking. And it came to the point that, and I can remember I went to, this was what I was going to say at the beginning. I started out my 90 days at speaker meetings. So I went to listen to people speak. And so now is my turn to be able to speak at a Big Book Step Study meeting. So the only thing I will promise you is that you will get home in time for lunch. Okay? My turn. So I got to the halls because my son had a relatively new girlfriend, but it was looking pretty serious. And he said, Mom, Kara has said if we ever have kids, she's not going to let you take care of them. Ooh, that was a big one. And I can remember, and her name was her name probably still is Alice, but at one of my speaker meetings, that's what she said. She said her son said, "You're never taking care of my kids, Ma." And that's what we need to hear. So I took my little lunch bag and I came to a meeting. And my son said, "I'll come with you, Ma." I said, No, I'm a big girl. So he came with me, and I started on my trip. And I came in. Word was, get a sponsor. Yes, yeah, I will. Been married close to 40 years. I have, and I do still have them, friends I've had since kindergarten. And as you can probably tell by me, I have shoes older than many of you. I wasn't going to just pick up a sponsor. I was not going to just have a sponsor. I knew that I needed to really look. And listening again to suggestions in the halls, I listened to what people said. I wanted what they had, and I chose a sponsor. A wonderful sponsor, by the by. And who said to me, "I will sponsor you, but it's the Big Book Step Study way." I know nothing. Sure, okay, fine. And I said, here we go. So I came to this meeting. It would probably be, I would say, maybe 18 months ago now. And this is a program of honesty. And I would sit over there, and I would think, I'd listen. I always listen to the speaker. And I'd listen to the speaker carefully, because one of the things that I've written down on my little note card is, if you are here and you're hearing, truly hearing, it will go to your heart. It will go to your heart. So I would listen, and then I would listen, and somebody would say, I'm Robin, and I'm an alcoholic. And then it would move. And then somebody would say, I'm an alcoholic, and I've been all the things that I can't seem to quite remember, but I will at some point. And I'd say, oh no. And I'd listen, not that carefully, but I'd listen, and then we'd go around. And then I realized that I was really starting to listen. I was listening when somebody said something over there. The biggest one I still remember was a woman named Faith. And she said, I have these resentments, and they're sticking to me like ticks to a dog. And I thought, well, that's interesting. Because I had just written part of my 4th step. And I thought, no, I've written down all my resentments. That's all done. I'm all done with that. Right. Yeah, right. They're all done. Okay. So I really started to listen. And it works. It works. When you have those resentments and you write them out and you turn them around, it works. But my story really today is one time when it really didn't work. It wasn't working. I was writing out resentments, and it wasn't working. And it was all about the reason I started into this program. It was about a daughter-in-law, another daughter-in-law, I have 3 sons, another daughter-in-law and the grandchildren living on the West Coast. And my daughter-in-law and I, which happens with every in-law situation, we both love the same man. We will do anything for that man. That does not mean we are going to be best friends. It does not mean we are going to be best friends. I went out to Oregon one time in October, and then I went back out recently for my grandson's birthday. And I thought everything was fine. It was going to be fine. I was changing myself. I follow a love acceptance is the answer. A love, page 417. I had changed myself. We were going to be fine. We were going to be fine, my daughter-in-law and I, and everybody was going to be fine. But it wasn't. It wasn't. And I ended up biting my tongue, being afraid I was going to say something I was going to forever regret, and I just didn't know what to do. And in all honesty, I took a real suggestion from somebody in this room that talked about it a few weeks ago. I just asked Mary to wrap me in her mantle and to let go of this obsession that I couldn't get over. And she did. It's slow. We're working on it. But I could let go. In that original moment, I was so alone and didn't know what to do. But if we ask our higher power, who I call God, and I asked Mary, who's also a mother, to please help me, it will happen. You find it if you have an obsession with alcohol, which we all do, and we beg for it to be taken away, it will be. And if we ask for any other obsession to be taken away in all humility, it will be. And we're working slow but sure. It's only going to be on the upswing. My daughter-in-law doesn't even know, which I've learned from this program, my daughter-in-law doesn't even know the effect she has on me. I think she does. I think she's being purposely mean to me. Perceived insults. Big one. Why does she do it that way? That's her way. It's none of my business. Slowly, we're moving. But that obsession is gone. I thank you, Gina. It is gone. And it brings me to, it's almost lunchtime, right? It's almost lunchtime.
Every minute's on lunchtime.
Back to the serenity prayer that we just love. I love the serenity prayer. And I'm just going to repeat it and just changing a few words a little bit to where it stands for me. God, grant me the serenity. Wrap your love around me, please. To accept I'm enough. I am enough. The courage to do the next best thing, to do the next right thing. And the wisdom, which I have learned, through some of future other readings that I've done for my meditation, to undertake, and this is one I'm going to repeat twice because I just do love this phrase, undertake nothing without consulting God. It's an Ignatian prayer. Undertake nothing without consulting God. Thank you.